Glam Girl Gabi is a professional makeup artist, and her 10-minute makeup routine for women over 50 is gorgeous. But I'm not a professional makeup artist. I'm just someone who has loved makeup pretty much their entire life, and I want to look pulled together without spending a fortune. So today, I'm going to follow her exact steps from her routine, but I'm going to sub in products that I already have here at home that are more affordable so that I can see if we can get that fresh, glowy, pulled together look for a fraction of a price. I started here and I ended up here. Keep watching to see how I did it.
So you can do it too.
Gabi started with skin prep, and so that's where I'm starting. And I'm going to use the same 3 basic steps that she used of toner, vitamin C serum, and a moisturizer with some bronzing drops added in.
Actually, 4 steps. We can't forget the sunscreen.
For toner, she did use the Haru Haru Wonder Black Rice Hydrating Toner, and I actually do have that. So I use that as well. Her model has dry skin, and I have combo oily skin, but I find that this toner works really well even on my combo oily skin. Instead of the Timeless Vitamin C, I actually used Angie's Actives All-In Serum. This is a vitamin C and lactic acid serum, and there are 6 different actives in this bottle. And so if you tried to buy all of the things that are in here separately, it actually is a bargain. For the moisturizing step, I used the Omega Water Cream from the Inky List, and I added in the e.l.f. Bronzing Drops. I'm not actually sure if the bronzing drops are going to do much for me because my next step is the SPF, and I use the Australian Gold, which is a tinted SPF. So I think it probably is going to cover up any effect that the bronzing drops might have had. I think you can probably skip that step, especially if you're using a tinted SPF. But if you like that little bit of a bronzy glow, then by all means, add that in. When you're putting on your SPF, don't forget your neck and your ears. This combo gives me a smooth, hydrated base without breaking the bank. So as you can maybe see, I did that skin prep right out of the shower so that while I was drying and curling my hair, it had plenty of time to soak in and set. Now let's jump into the makeup, and I'll see if I can get that same fresh lifted look that Gabi created on her model in her video. So Gabi then moved into the eyes while the skincare set on her model. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same order that she did. And the very first thing she did was to swipe a thin layer of concealer over the entire eyelid. She used the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer, and I have that too, so I'm going to use it. I'm going to take a little on my brush so that I don't get too much by just dabbing that sponge on there and just blend that in. This is just a flat shader brush. If you put too much on, you're going to get creasing. With mature skin, less is more isn't just a saying. Most of us have some sort of discolorations or veining or redness on our eyelids, and doing this step just helps to blank that out and just give a brighter, more lifted look to our eyes. And then she didn't do this, but once I put it on with the brush, I do like to use my fingers and just kind of go and tap, 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 because that will help remove any extra and also help to kind of make sure that it's not just sitting in any wrinkles or creases. So that's just one little extra step. Gabi then went in with a powder to set that concealer on the eyelids, and she made sure to say that for mature skin, especially dry mature skin, that you want a hydrating powder and that they do exist. And so I checked through my powders and I found that the L'Oreal Infallible Blurfection actually has hydrating ingredients in it, like sodium hyaluronate, sunflower seed oil, and squalane. So that explains why I love this powder so much. I'm going to tap a little into the lid, and I'm going to use what's in there on a small fluffy brush. This one is from AOA Studio. It is their F19 brush, and I'm just going to grab a little of that, tap off any excess, tap out just in case that concealer has creased at all, and then set that from lash line to brow bone. And I was a little surprised, but Gabi does not do any eyeshadow on this look. Time to move into the complexion, and for this, I'm going to need to get my hair out of my face. In the video, Gabi used the Jane Iredale Powder Foundation. That clocks in with a price tag of $57. I'm going to use the Essence 16-Hour Cover and Last Powder Foundation. This is my absolute favorite powder foundation. This is the 4th one of these that I've gone through since finding this in summer of 2021. It has a retail price of $5.99. That's quite a difference. Powder foundations are super fast. The tool you put it on with is going to dictate the coverage you get and the heaviness of it. You can put it on with a puff and then buff it with a brush, or you can put it on with a dense kabuki brush. That's what Gabi did in her video, so that's what I'm going to be doing. And you're going to swirl into the powder foundation, tap off the excess, and then use a tapping and buffing motion to put it on your skin. And it just is so fast because you don't have to wait for anything to dry. And then if you have some areas where you want a little bit more coverage, you can take a smaller brush and go right in those areas. Just make sure you really buff it in well. And my skin still looks like skin. You can see a few of my darker spots showing through, but overall it has a more evened out appearance and it doesn't look heavy or cakey. Next, Gabi goes in with concealer, which I thought was interesting because I always thought that with powder foundation, you needed to do your concealer first, but she's the makeup artist, so I'm going with what she said. And she said to just focus on the areas that need a little bit of extra brightening. And for me, I think you can see that that's this inner corner area right here. So that's where we're going to put it. I'm even going to just use that same brush that I used for my eyelids. Actually, I want my concealer brush. It blends better. And so here's the eye with the concealer and without. One tip that Gabi gave that I have used in the past as well is if you need a little more coverage and you have a thinner consistency concealer, if you put it on and then leave it alone for about 30 seconds, it will get a little bit tacky. And when you do blend, it will give you a little bit more coverage. You won't remove quite as much of the pigment. So I'm going to do that on this eye, and then we'll see if there's a difference. What do you think? Did I get a little better coverage on this side than this one? I kind of think maybe I did. And if you need a little extra, it's better to build up light layers than to put on a whole bunch all at once. Overall, you're going to end up using less, which is going to be better for not looking cakey or creasy. Then Gabi set the concealer using the same powder that she used on the eyes, not the powder foundation. We want that hydrating powder under the eyes. So I'm going to go back in with the L'Oreal Infallible and pick up just a little bit, tap off any extra, make sure I've tapped out the creases. And sometimes it's helpful to straighten the skin out just a little bit when you tap so that there isn't extra product hiding in the creases, and then set. The pink tone in this L'Oreal Infallible Blurfection is also helpful for blurring and brightening without adding shine or sheen, which is actually going to emphasize texture rather than blurring it. So for the eyeliner, Gabi introduced something new on her channel, and that is the Eye-Fi technique, which was a technique created by celebrity makeup artist Ray Morris. And it's based on the golden ratio. So the way she explained this is that point A is the highest point of the upper eyelid, right there, and point B is the lowest part of the lower eyelid. So you want the widest part of the eye is what we're looking at. And that's where we're going to start the eyeliner. And we are going to use this technique to lift and elongate the eye. She used the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in Tootsie. I'm going to be using the Wet n Wild Kohl Eyeliner Pencil in Simba Brown now. This goes for like $1.25. It's like this long when it's new, and it's one of my favorite eyeliners. So what we're going to do is start on the upper eye at point A and bring it out towards the corner of the eye. And then on the lower lash line, start at point B and bring it to the outside. And then we're going to connect it. And we're going to use an angled liner brush to smudge and pull out the liner that we put on the eye. and just go back and forth between the liner and the brush to create that shape. And when we get out to the outer edge here, we're connecting the two lines. Because this is a new technique for me, I don't know that I'm necessarily fast at it, but I can see how it would get fast and be faster than eyeshadow potentially. I went in a little too far with that one. Okay, interesting. Jury's still out on this. I'm not sure how I feel about the eyeliner under my eye. I typically leave that area kind of blank. We'll see how it all looks once I get mascara, brows, all of that done. I curled my lashes and I'm going to be using the e.l.f. Lash Extender in black. This is a tubing mascara and I really like how my lashes look with it and I like how easy it is to remove. In the video, Gabi did not do lower lash mascara. She had that as a bonus tip at the end if you wanted to do it. I like lower lash mascara because my lashes are so blonde, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it now. Two coats are on and you may be sitting there throwing things at your TV or screaming at your phone. You're getting it everywhere. I know, I always do. It cleans up. Take your 10X mirror, a stiff brush, this is a lip brush, and go in after it's dried and just flick away where you messed up. Easy peasy. Mistakes in makeup can be fixed. Going into brows, I'm going to be using the CoverGirl Easy Breezy Brow Pencil and the e.l.f. Wow Brow. And we are just going to brush up the little bit of brows that I have and then fill them in naturally where they would be if they still existed, because I have really, really sparse brows. And I'm just going to speed through that. Then with the e.l.f. Wow Brow, I'm just going to comb through my brow hairs because they're very, very blonde and it really does help to put a little tint on them. I go backwards first and then up and then put them in place. And now for some color, finally. Gabi used the RMS blush in Crystal Slipper. This is a soft pink with a bit of a shimmer. And so the blush that I think that I have that kind of goes along with that soft pink with a little bit of shimmer is the e.l.f. Primer Infused Shimmer Blush in Always Preppy. And I'm going to take a fluffy angled brush, dab it in, and she talked about the placement being a little bit behind where we would normally think to put it, back here, and lifted toward the temples. And that gives just such a pretty soft flush of color. I've had this blush for a really long time and I really, really like it. And finally, lips. And Gabi used a lip crayon from Swede that is a soft nude pink. And I am going to use the Maybelline Lifter Glaze in Berry Haze. The crayon that she used, she said, could be applied easily without looking in a mirror. And that is exactly what I love about this Lifter Glaze formula. You can put it on super sheer, or you can continue to swipe and build it up. It is so comfortable, so hydrating, and I think it's really nice on our mature lips. Then Gabi had two bonus steps, and the first one was using a nude liner in the lower lash line, and I have the L'Oreal Infallible Eye Pencil in nude beige, and so I'm going to pop that in the lower waterline. And she did say that this tends to be better on fair-skinned people or people with lighter eyes. So give it a try. You might like it, you might not. And the final step was using a hydrating setting spray. Instead of the Jane Iredale hydration spray that she used, I'm going to use the e.l.f. Power Grip Dewy Setting Mist. This one you have to shake up. but it has a super fine mist. It just gives some life and a little bit of glow to the skin. I'm going to get my bangs down. I'll be right back. So here's the finished look. Gabby's version is pretty flawless, and honestly, I think this turned out pretty good too. I think the biggest takeaway here is you don't need $300 worth of products and a pro makeup artist license in order to get a really pretty put together look. If you've ever watched a pro and thought, well, I don't have those products, I could never do that, I hope this has showed you that you absolutely can, on your budget, on your terms. And if you want me to try another pro or bigger YouTuber's makeup look, let me know down in the comments what that look might be. If you'd like to see some more makeup for beginners type of videos, I will put one over here for you to go check out next. Thanks for watching, and remember, stay confident, stay curious, stay you. God bless. Bye-bye.